Okay. So I think last time when we met, we spoke about collections in Salesforce. We spoke about list and set, and now we are about to talk about map collection type. If you see here, I think we have this code here. We did it with, we saw what way data types are, like string, integer, date, time, whatever the data types that we regularly use, along with an S object type. And then we also saw what is meant by collection. And in collection, we saw the differences between list and set. List is nothing but, list is a collection type where the elements of the collection are ordered. That means ordered means in whatever way you add the values, the list will retain the value in the order that we entered. And then we can retrieve the value using index. Indexing is nothing but the position. So the first element will be in 0th index. Second element will be in first index. Using indexing, we will be able to get the values. And list also supports other methods like, list.size, list.clone, list.clear, list.isEmpty, things like that are common, and you can just look at those methods. Whereas set, the biggest difference is set cannot contain duplicate values. I think we still have an example here. If this is a set, there will only one value called RCB because, it cannot contain duplicate values. So the set will contain only one value because it will automatically remove the, it would automatically remove the values in the set, the duplicate values in the set. And at the same time, set cannot contain duplicate values because, it has the ability to be able to remove duplicate values. And it set when we are using set, we cannot use indexes, the 0th index, first index. So that indexing or positioning is not applicable to set. It's only applicable to list. Okay. And set also contain some special methods. I'll show you what it is. I'll just say colors, just to make it better. Okay, so we have this. Now, if I just do a system.debug colors, it will display all these colors. Now, if I just try to add orange again, for example, if I'm trying to add, of course, it will not contain duplicate value, so the value will not get added. Okay. Now, set contain a special method called as contains. Okay. So let's just say I'll just do system.debug. So I'm asking, I'm just doing a debug. Okay, so does the set contain the color? This is again just a printf statement that I'm issuing. So colors dot contains red. So because this set contains this color, this element, it would just return us true. It would just say yes. It would just return a Boolean value called true or false. If I just debug this, you see, it return the value called true. If I just debug it, okay, because this set does not contain this, right? So if I just click execute, it would just return false. because that set does not contain the color that we asked in. So it returns false. So the thing is, so set contain, this is important because, whenever we deal with code, actual code in transactions, it's important in many cases, in many use cases you will use whether, a collection contains something. Especially when we are using set, we will use the thing we will use it to identify whether a certain element is already present or not. Okay. In order to identify whether an element is present or not, we use contains method. Okay. So again, we can also use, we also have methods like colors.remove yellow, colors.add, though just like add, there is also a remove method. We can use that remove method to be able to remove the elements of the set. Okay. So this is list and set. So, usually in lots of interviews, especially if it is technical, if they are asking about code, they will ask about, okay, what are the collections used in Salesforce, and can you talk to me about the differences? And the differences, the collections that are used in Salesforce programming are list, set, and map. List is an ordered collection. What is meant by ordered collection? In the sequence, the elements are always ordered in the sequence that are added to that collection. It's an ordered collection. It can contain duplicate values, but the indexing. So let's say if it is a list, if you add orange again, it will be 2 times. The orange will be 2 times, whereas this is 0, 1, 2. This would be in 3rd index, and this would be in 4th index. Okay. So it contains duplicate values, and it also has something called as indexing. Indexing is nothing but the position. We can always retrieve the value by colors.get0 will give us the 0th element. Colors.get1 will give us the first index, which is nothing but blue. It would give us that. So it's an ordered collection, and it can contain duplicate values. A list has something called indexing, whereas set is an unordered collection. When I say unordered collection, we are not guaranteed that the values will be in the order that we have entered here. The order can be messed up. Okay. So we do not rely on the order of the elements. So set is a collection, unordered collection. It cannot contain duplicate values. Automatically, the duplicate values will be removed in the set. And the important thing is set has a method called contain, which helps us to identify whether a certain element is present or not. Okay. So whether if an element is present in the collection or not, set will help us to identify that. Okay. Any questions, anybody? All right. Now we'll talk about another collection type called map. See, map is nothing but a collection type where we are creating our own searching index. Okay. It's just it's very helpful actually, but let's see this. Okay, please notice one difference here. In the list and set, we use the word add, but for list and set, we just said colors.add something, colors.add string. Whereas in case of map, we are using the word put. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. Okay. You see here, a map is nothing but a collection of key value pairs. Okay. Where, the first one, it's a collection. Usually when we are declaring list or set, we declare list, string, colors, like this, right, is equal to new list. So we were declaring a collection of strings. But here you see map is nothing but a collection of key value pairs. The one that we are defining here in the first is the key, and the value pair is, is associated. For what we are doing here is, in here we are just saying one is the key, the value January is the associated value pair with it. Okay. So we are like, map collection type is allowing us to create our own key value pairs. Like, for it's helping us to create our own search criteria. Okay. So here we are just saying put one is January, and let me just do some system debug. Okay, so let me just debug this. See, this is a map collection, right? Like I mentioned, we have map collection type is nothing but a collection type of key value pairs, where key here in this map, we are just saying that the key is of type integer and the value pair is a string. So, here we are just saying one is an integer and a value pair, integer and a value pair. So we have this map. So now I'm doing 3 debugs. Let's just see how they get printed. You see, first of all, whole map. When I debug the whole map, it is saying 1 is equal to January, 2 is equal to February, 3 is equal to March, and 4 is equal. And then, okay, I'm going to show you what it is. You see, I'm debugging the whole map. The whole map is clearly showing like a key value, but this is how they are stored. 1 corresponds to January, 2 corresponds to Feb, 3 corresponds to March, 4 corresponds to April. Okay, I just want to print the keys, like within the key value pairs. I just want to print the keys. Okay, that's why it just represents 1, 2, 3, 4. And the value pairs, like, I want just the value pairs to be printed. The month map dot values will give me this. In the map, the key should always be unique. Okay, so it's just nothing but all the keys are nothing but a set, and the value pairs are nothing but the value pairs are nothing but a list collection type. Again, you'll notice that later. But you see, let's say if I add, let's just say mistakenly I added this. Okay, now if I execute this, look at that one. I want to show you this. You see, I added monthmap.put1 as January, and then again I added monthmap.1 as Sunday. And if you notice here, there is only Sunday that's remaining. The first one is gone. So because the key has to be unique, right? We are defining our own criteria. For example, like it's like this. So, let's say you're in a class, right? And we have an attendance book, in a class, or, we have an attendance book. Everybody has a roll number associated with them and a name. Okay. So should we assign the same roll number to, like, the name can be same for 2 students, but the roll number always have to be unique, right? In the same way, it's just like that. It's just, we are just saying if we have a student roll number map, it would be integer and string. The roll number would be a key and the value pair would be associated. Because in a class, there can be 2 people or 3 people with the same name, but their roll number will always be different, right? Now here it's like we are assigning the same roll number to a different student. What map is doing is it just don't care whatever you added. The value gets replaced in that key. Okay. So just notice that, like, I can have something like this. I can have 5 and still have January. Oh, shit. See, I can have 5 and have January. It is fine. Like, when I click execute, you can open this. Okay, look at this. 1 January 2, like you see, the value pair on the, like, the roll number can be different and the associated person can be same. That's why we call this as, the keys are nothing but all the left side items. The keys are nothing but a set, right? It's a set collection type. And the value pairs are nothing but a list collection type, because, that's why the list collection type can contain duplicate values and the set collection type cannot contain duplicate values. So the keys are a collection of, it's a set collection type, and the values are of a list collection type. Okay. Now, the important thing is in map, we are able to create our own key value pairs. Okay. Here are the things. The important method, like the important reason why we use a map is, let's just say I'm going to print this. I'll just say month map dot get 4. You see, if I say month map dot get 4, like automatically the value April will be obtained here. So, okay, let me just execute this. So using the key, by assigning the key, we are able to get the value pair. If you look at this, see month map dot get 4. Here, month map dot get 4 is April. We are automatically getting the value called April. So by giving the key value, we will automatically able to return the system will be automatically be able to return the value pair associated to it. Can we do the other way around where, let's just say month map dot get April, and would it return the number 4? No, it can never do that. It cannot do that. The ability is only to get the assign, like, using the key, we are able to get the value pair associated with it. Okay. So that's the most important thing with the map. The most important use case where, we get with the map is this one. So the ability to be able to, like, when there is a map that exists, we automatically can use the key associated with it. And, when you pass in the key, automatically the value associated, the associated value we will be able to retrain it. Okay. So now let's just say I'm going to create a reverse month map. I'll just put this here. And then I'll just do a reverse month map. Okay. So if I do this, this should be string and integer. This is just to show you that the key can be anything and the value pair can be of any data type. It doesn't have to be whatever examples that I'm giving. It can be any data type. Okay. So I'm just going to reverse this. So now because the key is January, I'm going to make it just like this. So I'm going to make the key as a string and the value pair as an integer. Okay. Now what happens? I'm adding two duplicate keys, right? So ultimately only this will remain. This is gonna be overwritten because the key can be unique. Key should be unique. So whatever the latest entry that you enter in that key, only that would be written. The old value will be replaced with that. So that's why I'm gonna just remove this. Okay. Now if I just say month map dot get, I'll just say I will not do month map because the variable name is reverse month map dot get. I would say April. Now it's automatically gonna give me the number. Map string integer. String integer. I'm making a mistake. Line 17. Oh shit. You see, I declared month map as integer string. The reverse month map as string integer, right? So that's why this way I should add values to this one, right? Okay. Now let me debug it. So if you just look at this statement, okay, because these statements are also filtered, just look at the last statement. If you just pass in April, it's automatically returning the value called 4. So this map collection type is giving you the ability to be able to create our own key value pairs. It's like we are able to create our own search criteria. We are passing in the key and the value pair associated with it, we are able to automatically get it. Okay. Any questions, guys? Any questions on list, set, and map? So these are the 3 collection types that we use in Salesforce. Okay. So for example, I mean, one of the real use case, let's talk about one real use case. So here is a list contact. ID, name. From contact. Limit 50. Okay. So what we can do is, I'll just declare a map called map string con ID to name. Okay. So now it would be don't worry about the for loop. I'll again teach you that. So I'm just saying con ID to name dot put eon dot ID, comma. So here what we are doing is I'm querying all the contacts that are present in the system, and I just declared a map called map with string and string as the key and string as the value pair. So con ID to name map dot put, I'm just saying ID will be the key of the map, and the associated the contact ID will be the key, and the contact name will be the value pair. So let me just do system.debug. So let me just execute only this piece, execute highlighter. Okay, debug only. You see the name ID of the contact and the name. ID is the key and the value pair is in the name. ID is the key and the value pair is the name. So this is how the whole, like, you know, if you look at this code has generated this map. So I just issued a query, and then the ID is on the key side and the value pair. So let me just copy this ID, just copy one of the ID. And now I'll just say dot get. So if I pass in this ID, automatically it would give me the name of that contact. So it's just like, you know, I'm passing in the ID, and automatically, you see, con ID to name map, it gave me the name, like whatever, Stella, Pablo, or whatever the name of that contact is. So from this whole map, okay, when I passed in the ID, automatically I was able to get the contact, the name associated with it. So that's how, like, in reality, map will be used like this. Or we can have a map like this. Okay, so like I can have a string and the whole contact object. Okay, it can be like this. So this would be overall, like this map is nothing but the key is the ID of the contact, and the value pair is nothing but the whole contact object itself. And hence you can access anything after, like, you know, anything from this. So this is how, most widely used use case is going to be this. So where you assign the key as the record ID and the value pair of the whole object itself. That would be the most widely used use case for this map. Okay. Guys, any questions? You know what I want to do? I know, like, this coding piece, no matter whatever I say, it just keeps on going. But I just want you guys to write a map, okay, and just paste it in the chat window, okay? Just write a map. Just write a map of string and string. Just write a map of, not string and string. Write a map, write a map of integer and string, and name it as weak map, like W-E-E-K, weak map. And it should be like the key value 1 should correspond to Sunday, 2 should correspond to Monday, 3 Tuesday, 4 Wednesday, 5 Thursday, 6 Saturday, 6 Friday, and 7 Saturday. So I want you guys to write a map and just paste it in chatter post. The name of the map should be, just like I declared a month map, right? Here I declared a month map. It should be exactly like this. It should just, you know, replace, it should be week map, and it should be, you know, the key should be the number and value should be the day associated to it. I'll wait for 5 minutes. Okay, I want you guys to write it and paste it. That way, you know, at least while I'm teaching, I want you guys to at least type in once, if not outside the class. Guys, Any question in writing that? Like, do you have any question or anything? I just wanted a simple map. Instead of month map, I just wanted a week map. That's it, nothing else.
Hello, Anna. Will you explain the public once again? Like, what did you write it?
Do you see this month map here on the screen? Like
Yes.
I highlighted a month map. I just
Yes.
wanted a week map like that. You know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, week map. I just wanted a map like that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's good. Great. Anybody else? I only got it from Niranjan. Is that hard or did you not guys not get it? Like I just want to know before I proceed further. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, let me see. Niranjan. Renu. Okay. Renuka, good. No, I think Renuka. I think it's sorry, I just checked it. The key should be different. Okay. Karthik, it looks good. Okay. That's good. Okay. I'm gonna close this. I just want to close this. Now, can I get a map of, string to string? I just need a map of string and string. The key should be a string, and also the value pair should be a string. You can probably, how would you do that? String, right? I just want string. I'm just trying for an example.
Fruits and colors.
Sorry?
Fruit and color.
I didn't get you.
Like fruits and colors.
Yeah. Or you know what? Let's just do a state code and actual state. For example, create a map of string and string where the state abbreviate. For example, MA will be the code and Massachusetts, the whole word Massachusetts will be the value pair. NY will be the code and New York will be the whole, the value pair. I just want a map of string and string where the state code is the key and the value pair is the actual state name. Ramesh, that's good. Looking good. This one, integer string. No, Ramesh. I think you made a mistake here. Do you see this? What is the key in this? In your map, right? The map of integer and string, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what is the key? The left side value. Integer is the key and the string is the value pair, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
See, when
yeah.
you put
I need to rearrange.
It will be the other way around, right? One should come first. After the comma, it should be Monday. Now,
yes.
How are you differentiating what's an integer and what's a string? How would the system know? One is an integer and Monday is a string. How would the system know that? You need to put Monday in a single quote, right? Within a single quote.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. I need to write one and then Monday in the strings. Yeah. Single quotes.
Yeah. That's when I'm pasting it. That's when system would know that it should be like this. Because this is how you need to, so that it knows, okay, one is an integer and Monday is a string. Because, string is nothing but it's a collection of alphanumeric values. So if you need to differentiate a string versus integer by using that single quote.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Or the second map, whatever I asked, the state to state code. You see this one? Karthik.
Yeah, I just started with the names of the IPS.
Yeah, it's good. But you see, it's good, but this doesn't mean anything, right?
Yeah.
Not even like team is playing on this day. But it's okay. I get it. You're just trying to get the string to string state map, Niranjan. That's good. That's good. Okay. The reason why I'm asking you to write is, you see, it's just we are trying to write a simple map, that too with an example that I have already given to you. And so far, within here, we got 3 to 4 versions of the answers, I'm not saying it's a right thing or wrong thing. It's better to make those mistakes here and, get corrections, because when you look at it, when I'm teaching it, when you look at it, it appears like that you got everything, but the moment that you are typing in actually, I think somebody put all the keys as the same thing, and then later realized, okay, the key should be different and updated the key. Somebody forgot to keep the, reverse the order of the key and value pair, forgot to keep the single quote for the string. There are, we got 3 to 4 versions of the same answer for a simple map. That's why I always say hands-on, putting it hands-on. It doesn't matter whether you're repeating the same thing again and again, putting it hands-on makes the difference. Okay, Ramesh statement. Oh, that's good. Okay, Ramesh. Here is the thing, Ramesh. I just want you to ask a simple question again. You have 3 elements, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now, okay, I just want to ask the same question to First, let me come with Karthik. Karthik, I think you have IPL teams.get2, right?
Yeah.
Good. What would it give you?
It gives you like CSK and Tuesday.
No. What is the key here?
DC and Wednesday.
See.
No, what is the key here? Sorry?
It gives the DC and Wednesday, right?
No. See, IPL teams.get2. See, here is the thing. That in the case of list, if IPL teams is a list, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. If it is a list collection type, it would have given DC as the value because it's, the index position is 2, 0, 1, 2. It would have given DC as the answer if it was a list. But if it's a map, you would just get an error.
Okay.
What is the key here? What are the keys here? Like in your map, what are the keys? You have your keys are RCB, CSK, DC, KKR. These are the keys, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me just paste this again. Same thing. Karthik, I'm gonna pick you up and just see. This is your map, right?
Yes.
This is the map that you had, right, Karthik?
Yes.
Okay. Again, when you copy paste, it comes as different. It would be like this. Okay. Now it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna do. Now IPL teams.get2. What does this give? It doesn't give anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, what is the main intention of the map? Oh, I give you an example. Okay, here is. Let me convert this into another example myself. Okay. Let me convert this into a map. Will be student roll number to name. Okay. So I'm just saying roll number to name. Okay. It's string. I'll just say 1. Shravan. Okay. Let me just remove these. Okay. Now, what is my key? Key is this, and the value pair associated with is this. Okay. Roll number 1, Shravan. Roll number 2, Karthik. Roll number 3. Now, where is this coming from? Like, get to. What does it give? Like, you're just saying, this does not have any values. Did you get what I mean? Instead, if you have to do, you need to call the key value here, like whatever is the key. Like if you say, like student roll number to name dot get the actual key value, it would print the value associated to it if you get the key. If this is a list, okay, if this is a list like this, list string student name.
So for map, there should be always like 2 data types.
Yeah, that's the entire goal of the map. That's the goal of the map is to have key value
got it.
pair. One is the key, and you're assigning an associated value pair to it.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah, now I understood.
You got it. Like I
Yeah, I
know
got it.
I said other examples, but maybe by giving the example of numbers, it might have been confused. So look at this one. Now, if you do student names dot get to, so now what would you get here? Here, what would it be printed?
Ramesh.
Good. Ramesh would be printed because this 0, 1, 2. Whatever is the second index or the third value, we are asking it from here. But here, if you just say get to, doesn't have any sense. I mean, it would just say, I'm going to show you the error too. Like, I'm going to execute highlighter. It say incorrect signature, like, void get integer. You're just asking, your key is a string and you're asking, give me an integer. Like, this is the difference. I mean, did you get Karthik? What's the difference now?
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So the key value pair, when you use the get method, you always have to pass in the key. Whereas, if it is confusing for you between list and map, just forget about the get method. Just always use this one. Like, student names too. Always use this. Like, student names dot get to. Don't use that if it's a bit confusing. Okay. Always use student names. This is equivalent to. This is absolutely equivalent to, in case of list, student names dot get to. This is, both are absolutely same in case of a list. Okay. Use this as a, in map, just use this. Get the actual key value. Okay. Does it make the difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna check somebody, Ramesh. Ramesh, one more thing. You see, I'm gonna pick up on your example. Guys, please don't mind if I'm picking on your example. It's just everybody would learn from the same thing. That's fine. Okay. You see,
Sorry, Anna, that's not
here,
the one. I text you one more. Yeah, I text you one more.
Okay.
So fine.
Good. Yes. Yeah. The other one that you texted here. Yeah. That's the last one that you texted is good.
I said one more code here, but get dot. That's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, again, this is not, I'm not trying to just, only give you this example, but I just want you guys to understand the difference on how we can use this, okay?
Okay.
Niranjan, anybody else who's still typing? Yeah, Karthik, I think we covered yours. Ramesh, you covered yours. Okay, Rainy, MMS, Virginia. Okay, good state map. Okay, now I just want a list of integer with the first 10 numbers, like 0 to 10. Just 1 to 5, if 1 to 10 is more, I just want a list of integers with 1 to 5 as the numbers in it, like the elements in it. Can you type that, please? List of integers. The list should contain 5 or 6 elements, because I'm saying 0 to 5, right? So it should contain 6 elements. It's just a simple list with the data type integer. This should be pretty quick, All I wanted is list of integers and the element should be 0 to 5. That's good. Karthik, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Integer list, new list integer. Yeah, that parameter initialization is good too. Yeah, you can do it that way. Or, yeah, in Niranjan, you are good too. That's good. Okay, good. Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted, just little bit hands-on. That's it. Just to make sure you guys are okay. Can you? I mean, you can Google and you can do whatever it is. But how do you like for the list that you gave? Like you send me some lists, right? For the list that you added, how do you know the size of that list? Like, for example, Karthik or anybody, I mean, I want to know the size I want to print the size of the list. Oh, sorry.
So we can use the int list dot size.
That's good. Size, how would you represent it? Size with 2 brackets or like I just want.
It's a method, right?
Yeah, it's a method. So it would be int list dot size. Okay. With
Yeah,
2 brackets.
like Niranjan said.
Yeah. So I want to clear, I want to nullify all the elements, like clear the list. How do you do it? Same thing, just like size, it would be int list dot clear. Right? I want to clone the list. You would be like, you can declare a new list and you can say int list dot clone and it would clone the list. Okay? So, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that there are certain methods that are available. Okay. Similarly, in the set, you can add the set and you can just say, you can use the method called set.contains to be able to determine whether a set contains a certain element or not. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions so far?
Yeah, should be fine.
Yeah. Anybody? Okay. Now, I just want to talk like 5 to 10 minutes about SOQL, and I want you to be again, before coming to tomorrow's class, I want you guys to work on SOQL, like write some queries and come up with some questions for me. Okay, so it's a simple thing. SOQL, it's just the same statement. I mean, the syntax is same. Select ID, comma, name, comma. Let me just see the field names on account. I don't know the names. The account. The type. Comment type prospect. Right, okay. Okay. I'll just remove this because type prospect, we don't have any accounts. Okay. So first of all I'm doing is it's a simple syntax. Select and whatever fields that you want, okay, from the name of the object. That's the syntax. I mean, you can write the query, you can just do Google SOQL and you will automatically get the syntax, and it's very self-explanatory. So what we're doing is right now I'm just querying all the accounts in the system. I'm just saying select ID, name, type from account. If you want to query other fields like website and all that stuff, you just keep on adding the API name, okay? If it is a custom object, it would be select ID name, again, field, always use the API names, okay? From that account _C or employee _C, whatever, like you might have built custom objects, right? So try to write the query for both standard object and also on the custom object. For if you're doing custom objects, your object name would be that. And then the other thing would be where, if you want to specifically query, where you see, okay, right now we have type customer channel, type customer direct, and then there are some records where type is empty. So where I'll just do type is equal to null. So I'm just asking the system to give me the ones where type is null. You see, we only got 4 accounts, okay? Or I'll just say type not equal to null. We got all the accounts where the type is not null. Or I can just do, I just want where type is equal to customer direct. Okay, so if I just query, I get only customer direct accounts. It's not only on account object. I'm just giving you an example of account object, but you can write the query on any other object that you want. The syntax is same. It's going to be select whatever the fields that you wanted to query from the name of the object and where class. Okay, so you can also do an AND condition or OR condition where type is equal to this and industry is equal to something else. Like it would be, okay, where type is customer direct and industry. So you can, depending on which data that you are querying, you can basically query any sort of data, and get the information from. Okay, so again, queries are unlimited. Like I cannot teach you how to write the queries or how many queries that you want to. It's just I want you guys to explore the query SOQL yourself. By writing various queries, take opportunity object, take employee object or employee salary object or session object, sessions, whatever it is that you want, just use this query editor here, use this query editor and click execute to be able to just, explore some of the queries that you wanted to write. Okay. Now, I just want to write a query that can travel upwards. What does that mean? Select ID, last name, first name, account dot. Okay, see, contact is the child object of account, right? Just observe this. Contact is the child object of account. See, first name, last name, and ID are the contact object fields. Okay, but I'm using similar to formula fields. So remember, we have cross-object formulas, right? We use _R notation in case of custom objects or custom fields. We use _R notation. But here, because we are using a standard field, we are using this dot notation to be able to, print, to be able to query the values of the, the parent account information too. You see, ID, last name, and first name. These 3 fields are, we are querying from the, okay, if the query is like this, it's simple. You see, we are only querying the contact object information. But by adding this, we are querying contact object. But while we are querying contact object, we are also able to get the associated account values as well. I mean, at least from what I heard, I've never done anything in SQL. In SQL, if you want to get the account name and account ID and stuff about the parent object, you would want to create a join. But in SOQL, you don't have to. You can just travel using dot notation to be able to get the parent object values as well. Okay, does that make sense? Like you can write, let's say, I think in some of the examples we have written employee salary, right? When you are querying the employee salary object, you will be able to travel to using _r notation, just like formula fields. You will be able to travel to the parent employee object and still be able to grab the values. Okay, any question here? Now, what is this? Like an SOQL query, what kind of data type it returns? You see, anytime you are issuing an SOQL query, it is returning a list of records, right? You know, like this is nothing but, it always returns a list of contact. Okay, an SOQL query always return a list of S object where we are querying. Okay, if I just say contact, in the code wise, if I'm just saying, see, and if I just do system.debug, contacts, okay, just execute it, and if I just print it, you see all the contacts are printed here. ID, last name, account ID, like all the whatever that we are trying to look. So an SOQL query always returns the list of S object where you have written. So if you, let's say, if you want to query accounts, it should be list of account. I mean, you can name this anything. As you select ID, name, comma type from account. Okay, so you cannot put this as contact and query accounts. Okay, if you execute, it'd be like illegal assignment from list account to list contact, because the query on account always return list of accounts. And you know, here we are trying to, like, that's why the data type is important. I mean, again, usually people want mistakes on this one, but I'm just saying, when you assign, I'm just trying to link the SOQL query that we write here to the code, you know, in the code perspective. Okay, so when you issue an SOQL query, it will always return you a list of records of the S object where your query is written on. Okay. Guys, any question here? Now, the thing that I want you guys to do is, I want you guys to write some SOQL, like, you know, like whatever might be the example, I just want you guys to write some SOQL, and you know, just come up with, I mean, not come up with, I just want you guys to practice here, whether you use query tool here in developer console or use workbench or whatever it is. Just write SOQL, you know, try to come up with something like, try to practice, write some queries on custom object, write some queries on standard object, try to add where clause, like just play around with it, you know, have, you know, the records that are in your org, right? Just play around the record and try to write some queries and see where you can get. And the reason I'm asking is just like I told you, when I write the query, when I tell you, it looks easier and simpler, but I want you guys to just put it into practice once to make sure that we are on the same page. Okay. So tomorrow there is one last piece of basics that I want to give. Again, now I'm giving you these basics, right? List, set, map, SOQL, DML. I'm teaching you these separately just to give you what they are, but in reality, like when we are actually writing the code, we will be using all these things together depending on the scenario to be able to come up with actual, triggers or Apex classes or test classes or whatever it is. Okay. So, but for now, just focus on these individual pieces. Okay. And these will be useful. These individual pieces will be useful. We will collect all these individual pieces together and come up with some examples. Okay. Any questions, anybody? Niranjan, I didn't get it. I'm going to stop the recording for now.